So it's November now, which means Inktober is over. And so how'd I do? Well, let's talk about it. So, as with every Inktober, I set out with a goal to make 31 drawings over the course of the month, one a day, every day for the month of October. This year, well, let me step back. I've done Inktober every year with the exception of one since 2015, I believe. I've enjoyed it every year. It's always challenging. There are always days where I just don't feel like doing it. I don't feel like making a drawing. I might come in a little bit. Here we go. Yeah. There's always days where I don't feel like making a drawing on a given day, but most days I'm able to just say, hey, I'm gonna do it, and I get it done. Even if the drawing ends up not being the best or that I'm capable of doing, it gets done. That's what happened, 15, 16. I skipped 15, 16, 17. I skipped 18 because I was getting married in the month of October in 2018, and just too much going on, too much stress getting ready for the wedding, that the added stress of Inktober, it wasn't going to work out. I tried to do it, in September, but then I just couldn't build up the steam to do it. Even then, there was still too much going on getting ready for the wedding. So I skipped 2018. Got back on the wagon on 2019, even on the anniversary. My wife and I went on an anniversary trip, and I even continued it while we were on the trip. Everything was good. So this year, I went at it, and I got through most of the month, making sure I was doing it daily until about the 20th, when my anniversary hit. And I don't know what it was exactly. I had more time because I was actually started a short week-long vacation that week, starting on the 20th. But that's the day that I just kind of stopped for 4 days straight. I didn't draw anything, and it wasn't because I didn't have the time. I just didn't have the motivation, and I didn't have whatever it takes to push myself to do those days. But I did have whatever it takes for me to not just give up entirely. So I did end up, jumping back on and finishing out the month. Even though I didn't do every day after that, I did most of the days after that. I think I skipped like one day after that 4-day break. So, I don't know. I'm still going to count my participation in Inktober for 2020 as a majority. Still gonna call it mostly a success because I did participate. I did get a collection of drawings, and I'm proud of a lot of what I did for the month. I'm disappointed in myself that I couldn't make it the entire month, but I'm also going to be forgiving of myself, realizing that a lot is going on this year, even if it's not a lot that I'm actively involved in. There's a lot emotionally going on this year that I am, emotionally involved in. So I'm going to give myself a break that I didn't do 31 drawings this month, and be happy with what I did, because I haven't counted it, but I'm gonna say, let's say I did 25. 25 drawings is better than 0 drawings. And 25 days of practice and inking is better than 0. So I'm gonna count that as a win. But going forward, I'm gonna try to do better. At this point, I'm not 100% sure if I'm going to do Inktober next year. I'm thinking about picking up a different challenge. Maybe creating my own challenge. Not necessarily for the world. I'm a small channel right now. I don't have a whole lot of influence, so I don't expect that to happen. But for myself, maybe a month-long challenge of some kind to do something. I don't know what that's going to be yet. Maybe I'll follow along with Mermaid this year, get some mermaid drawings, but I really don't know yet. I don't know what that's going to look like. We'll see. We'll see. But for now, Inktober's done, so it's moving on. I didn't make as many videos this month, in the month of October, so because I was doing Inktober, I'm gonna try to get back to making more regular videos. I'm gonna try to do at least a video a week. That's my goal, and I'm gonna try to get some TikToks done. I want to throw my hat into that. What else? I'm gonna try to get back into making comics again. It's been a while since I've drawn any comics. I've got a short that I want to color that my wife and I worked on. That is hopefully potentially a pitch to a comic company. And then I got a short story that I've written and drawn a couple pages for that I want to finish out. It's a nice little time travel jaunt with some characters from a comic I've already done called Teach. That's pretty fun. I want to finish that up because I like the idea. I like what I've got done already, but it just needs to be finished. And I'm going to commit myself to drawing something every day, regardless of what it is, even if it's something in my sketchbook, a comic. I want to draw every day. Yeah. I want to try to do the Seinfeld "don't break the chain" idea. If you're not familiar with that, Jerry Seinfeld, the comedian and namesake of the 90s comedy of the 90s sitcom Seinfeld, has this idea, this rule, where if you do something for 10 minutes a day, every day, you'll build something. For him, obviously, it was working on writing jokes. So he would sit down and write a joke for 10 minutes every day, at least 10 minutes. Most of the time, once you start something, you've got that idea that it's only going to take 10 minutes, I can do 10 minutes, but once you start it, you end up going longer than that. Maybe it's 15, maybe it's 20. If you get into it, maybe it's an hour, but you started it and you did something. Even if you only did that 10 minutes, you did something. And that's what I want to try to do. And, sit down and draw for at least 10 minutes. More than likely, it's going to end up being half hour, 45 minutes to an hour, at least. Sitting down and committing to 10 minutes is a lot easier than committing to drawing for an hour. And then second part of that is that you do it every day and you try not to break the chain. You look at a calendar, and every day that you draw, you mark off that day, say I drew, and then you try to get as many consecutive days in a row that you drew, So Going back to Inktober, I got about 20 days consecutively, or I guess 19 because I stopped on the 20th. So I got 19 straight days in a row that I drew. And that's a pretty good chain. You know, you can't expect to do everything forever with an unbroken chain, but the more unbroken chains, the longer the unbroken chain, the better. And the better of a habit you will form. So that's what I want to try to do. Form better habits. Yeah, I think that's what I'm trying to say. Inktober, strictly and technically a failure, but realistically and personally a success. Again, I'm happy with a lot of what I did. Disappointed that I didn't get every day done like I had hoped, but you know, I'm not going to be too super hard on myself. I'm just going to try harder going forward. So wrapping things up, here are my 5 favorite drawings from the month. So if you like the video, you like the drawings, hit the like button. Be sure to subscribe so you can see what's next, and hit the bell icon so you get notifications every time I post a new video. Alright? Have a great day. And remember, don't be too hard on yourself.